What's going on, guys? It's Azurate Marvel from Azurate Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you one of our first series where I'm going to try and take this bronze team to Division 1. Now, the reason why I want to do this is because I think bronze players are really underrated now. They're not getting as much love as they used to, and there used to be bronze tournaments, silver tournaments for silver players as well. Now it's all about foot champs, and really these bronze players are just for SBCs. And what's kind of brought this up for me was the St. Patrick's Day SBCs where they these bronze players were essentially being used just for these SBCs, and they're going for 300-400 coins each, never going to be used, and they're being discarded straight away. So it's a real shame, and that's the state of the game at the minute, where there's some players out there that will just never be used because of their nations, because of their type of card. So bronze card, silver card, really not used as much anymore. But I've always been a fan of using the the lesser players and trying to build a team up from the bottom and get there to Division 1. And I really want to try and make sure that we get to Division 1, we play some good football, and give it our best shot and prove that these things are still worth using, and hopefully find some gems of players along the way. So as you can see, my team isn't fantastic. Those Spanish players aren't brilliant. They're out of position as well, and I've had to make do. I'm trying to link them all with I think it's Martinez from Oxford, who's Spanish as well, and I'm trying to make sure that he's the central part of my team. And I've got an EFL3 team players, even not a team there that may be useful. So fingers crossed this team can go places. As you can see in my first game, this guy's got a lot of bronzes. I've edited out the first half of this because it's a waste of time. We both had 2 shots and we both missed them. And a lot of the play was in the middle, just trying to work out how to play with these guys. And I think I was very naive to begin with, because actually these players aren't as good as the gold players. They are bronze players. They're really low rated, and I need to get that 100 chem. That's going to be my first goal. Get 100 chem, and I think this team will play a lot better. Those players that are playing out of position kind of stayed back, weren't really running up with the team, and my defence was quite static. They played very much in a line, unless I moved them out of it earlier on. So that's one of the problems I was having, and I don't want to be having that problem from now on. I want to have a team where we're looking at moving forward, playing some good football, playing the possession game, because I think I'm going to have to play the possession, because I'm not, they're not the quickest players, and yeah, so I'm going to try and instill a bit of strength into the midfield. A lot of the play was through the midfield against this guy, but my players ultimately lost out because he has those gold players, and they just knocked my players off the ball. Had the referee have been a bit stronger, I think maybe there'd have been a few fouls in there, but it's one of those things. You get referees that are too harsh and too lenient on this game, so I'm not going to complain about that. Going into this, I think I was, really, really, as I said, naive, and I do end up losing this game 2-1. I just couldn't get the ball forwards quick enough. The players weren't making the runs I expected them to, so that was, that's one of the things that I expected them to be making, and they really didn't. And you lose a little bit of playability when the players aren't running by you and trying to pick up the ball. But I can see this team going really, really well, and I can see this team progressing, because we've got some stars in there already and some good players that I want to be using, and good players that I think will be useful in the future. So one of them is Martinez. The 2 centre backs seem pretty decent to me. It was the left and right back I was having problems with. I need to sign a new goalkeeper, and I need to sign a right winger, because if I'm coming up against teams that have got goal players, Serge Gnabry really tore me apart in the first half, actually getting the ball, winning the ball. It was just a shame that he was out of stamina by the second half, as you could probably see on screen. Now, I have opened a few packs doing those manager tasks, and I think this is really, really helpful in doing these things. Didn't really get a lot from them. I got another Spanish player that I have added in, but overall we're still searching for some players. So I'm going to get a Spanish goalie, to increase the chemistry of the centre backs, hopefully get them playing well. I also want to get a right back and a right winger. I think my strikers are okay-ish, but obviously they will be moving down that chemistry as I bring in more Spanish players to begin with. Now, how can you guys help out? What I want you guys to be doing is telling me if there's any gems that I'm missing out on. Are there any players that would really link my teams together? Are there any informs we could use later on down the line, because at the end of the day I want to make this so the best team possible, try and get a 164 team, or as close to this as possible, and if we can do that, I think we can start winning games, start playing possession football. I'm going to need players that are good at passing and potentially long shots. I'm going to try and beat, the Jack Butlins of the game. So, let's bring in some bronzes. Let's try and win Division 1 with this bronze team and prove that these guys are still worth using and they're still worth playing with. And, they're not just there to make up numbers in SBCs. So guys, if there's anything you want, you want to comment down below. If there's anything you can help me with, if that's players from FIFA or how to edit my videos and so forth, or even tips on how to improve, the entirety of the channel, we are always welcome with those things. There's going to be some more series. We're going to try and upload once a week from now on. And if you're interested in that, please subscribe if you're feeling lucky. Like the video if you think this is decent, and comment down below if you've got any advice on how to improve. Hopefully we can make this work. Azurate Gaming as a whole, we're a team of friends, so fingers crossed that we can move forward and try to produce some good videos that are entertaining enough. So thanks guys for watching. Please comment down below any help, and I'll see you next time.